You've probably heard that old saying, you are what you eat, right? Well, what if that also applies to how well you see? That's exactly what we're diving into today, this incredible link between the food on your plate and the long-term health of your vision.
I mean, it's a pretty powerful thought, isn't it? The idea that your best defense for protecting one of your most precious senses is sitting right there in your kitchen. So let's explore that connection.
Okay, so first, let's talk about the condition we're focusing on, age-related macular degeneration, or AMD for short. This is a leading cause of vision loss, and what it does is damage the macula. That's the part of your retina responsible for that sharp central vision you need for reading, driving, or just seeing someone's face clearly. And, the vast majority of cases, something like 90%, are what's known as the dry form.
Now, before we go a single step further, I have to be crystal clear about this. This is not medical advice. We're just exploring the information out there. If you have any concerns about your vision whatsoever, please always talk to a qualified healthcare professional. That's always your first and most important step.
So, how can food actually help? Well, the main idea is that certain nutrients act like internal sunglasses. Yeah, pretty cool, right? They literally protect your eyes from damage, but from the inside out. Let's take a look at what they are.
The two big names to remember are lutein and zeaxanthin. They're natural pigments found in plants. They're what give them their vibrant colors. Now here's the amazing part. When you eat them, your body is smart enough to send them directly to your retina. Once they get there, they do two critical jobs. They filter out damaging blue light, and they act as antioxidants. But here's the kicker. Your body can't make them. You have to get them from food.
And this really shows you just how targeted these nutrients are. As Dr. Michael Greger says, they hone right into our retinas. It's almost like a biological smart delivery system, sending protection exactly where it's needed most.
So, where do we find these powerful compounds? Well, let's start with a group we can call the Green Guardians.
Dark leafy greens are absolutely loaded with these nutrients, but the sheer density is just staggering. I mean, kale is great, but look at spinach. A single cooked cup packs over 20,000 micrograms of lutein. That is an absolute powerhouse for your eyes. And hey, here's a quick pro tip. A lot of people find regular kale a little tough or maybe a bit bitter. If that's you, give baby kale a shot. It's way softer, has a milder flavor, and it's super easy to toss into salads or smoothies.
Okay, moving beyond the greens, another category of protectors that packs a serious punch is the power berries. We're going to focus on two in particular that have some really compelling science behind them.
Take a look at this number, 28%. Just let that sink in for a moment. What could that possibly refer to?
Well, that number comes from a major study from 2024 that looked at over 35,000 women, and it found that those who ate just one serving of blueberries per week had a 28% lower risk of developing AMD, just from one serving. That's a huge impact from such a simple, delicious habit.
The other power berry is the goji berry, and its superpower is zeaxanthin. It's one of the best plant-based sources you can find. A 90-day study showed that a daily intake actually increased the density of that protective macular pigment in the eye, so it was essentially making those internal sunglasses thicker and stronger. They're easy to find online and are great to add to salads or just to snack on.
So beyond the greens and berries, there are a few other key players that offer more specialized support, and they're backed by some really interesting clinical research.
First up is saffron, and the science here is truly fascinating. Saffron doesn't just provide building blocks, its active compounds act as a neuroprotectant. What that means is it actively helps shield the light-sensing cells in your retina from damage, which helps preserve their function, especially in people who already have mild to moderate AMD.
Clinical trials have even zeroed in on a specific dose, about 20 milligrams a day, to see these benefits. For anyone looking for a consistent dose, full-spectrum saffron supplements, like the one you see here, are one way to achieve that.
So this brings us to a really common question. For years, we've all heard about fish oil and omega-3s for eye health. So are supplements the simple answer? Well, the research here is actually surprisingly nuanced. A massive study called the AREDS-2 trial found that taking omega-3 supplements did not slow the progression of existing AMD. However, and this is a big however, getting omega-3s from your diet, from things like fatty fish or even plant-based algae capsules, is still recommended. And the reason is structural. The retina itself is literally made of a type of omega-3 called DHA. So dietary sources help maintain the fundamental health and integrity of your eye.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. How do we pull all of this together into a simple, actionable plan?
Here it is. Let's call it your eye health shopping list. For your green guardians, you're grabbing spinach and kale. For the power berries, add blueberries and goji berries. And for that specialized support, consider saffron and a dietary source of omega-3s, like from algae. It's a simple list of foods that the science suggests can make a real difference.
Ultimately, our vision is one of our most vital connections to the world. It's irreplaceable. So the final question is a personal one. Looking at all this, what's one thing you'll add to your plate today to help protect your eyes for all the tomorrows to come?